Oh, I see us. There we are.
Here we are. Okay.
Hey.
So, hi everyone. This is Melissa Kitto with Communicate with Angels, and I am doing something different today, which is really exciting because I've been having visions of doing this with some amazing people, which is just interviewing them and seeing what they're doing and collaborating with some amazing people, because I think that feminine intuitive energy is all about collaboration and lifting each other up. So I'm really, really excited to introduce you to my friend Whitney McNeill. Whitney and I met each other, what would it have been, about just over a year ago at a conference in San Diego.
Yeah.
And I wanted to share this little story first. I will let Whitney talk in a minute. But so I showed up to this event in San Diego. I didn't know anybody. And they started the day before with a networking thing at a co-working space. Now, I am an introvert by nature, even though I can be very outgoing in situations like this, talking on video. But that was a little bit intimidating, like meeting all these people. So what I do in those situations is I just listen to my inner guidance to kind of lead me to the people that I want to connect with. So I just felt drawn to Whitney and another woman. And what happened was we started chatting, and we had this really, really long line to have a photo with the event leader, Amy Porterfield. And by the time we got through this line, it's like we'd known each other forever. Whitney and I found out that we were seated at the same table, and so we just hung out the whole conference. And I love that feeling of, I know this soul. We might just be meeting for the first time in this lifetime, but we definitely already had an affinity and a connection. So cut a long story short, Whitney and I connected again just a couple weeks ago at another conference. Again, I'm sure just guided by intuition. And here we are today. And Whitney's got something really exciting going on. So, but before we get into all of that, why don't you just give us a little bit of an introduction about who you are and how you came to be teaching this in this whole arena of intuition and spirituality?
Yeah, thanks so much. And I love that story. It was so nice to just see you say that. And I thought, oh, yeah, it brought up great memories. And I'm so glad we were able to be connected now.
Yeah.
So for me, I really, when I was younger, I was very sensitive and I did not know how to make sense of it. And I felt things, I saw things, I heard things. I also just would know things sometimes. I remember when my mom would get a phone call, I knew who it was, and I would tell her and she would pick it up. So I knew that something was going on there, but I wasn't sure how to make sense of it. And then as I got older, I really was fascinated by all things spiritual, but I didn't have a mentor and I wasn't sure what to do with it. And so I, at some point, got so scared that I just shut it down. And when I shut it down, it was pretty much like driving a car without a blindfold on. I had no guidance. I couldn't talk to my spirit guides. It was just me hanging out and just making decisions out of randomness. I also, at the time, went down a path that wasn't really aligned with my soul, and I started getting really drained. I was really tired, and I was still very empathic. And I really got very ill. And when none of the doctors could tell me what in the heck was going on, I sought out spiritual healing and I felt all this energy come in. I really started realizing that there was truth to spiritual things like energy and spirit guides. And I really started embracing that part of myself again. And I sought out a mentor and I just ate it all up. I loved it so much. And I started teaching with him. And so I wanted to really get the word out that everyone has this ability. Everyone has an intuition. They just need to tap into it. And that's my passion. So that's what I do. I teach. I'm a certified medium, an intuition and mediumship teacher, and a spiritual business mentor. I love helping other people find that special ability that they have because we're all super unique.
Yeah. Yeah, we have so much in common in our philosophy there. I love what you said about everybody has this ability. You know, people think that it's just these special psychics. No, it's everybody. This is so normal and also just so helpful in a practical, everyday way. Yeah. So one of the things that you're teaching about at the moment is how to increase your financial abundance with your intuition. And, you know, I sincerely believe that your intuition and your inner guidance will help enhance all areas of your life. And I find that this conversation of, you know, success and financial abundance is one that can trigger a lot of people, and especially those who might be on a spiritual path. As you know, I just led a retreat, a women's retreat, and we talked a little bit about this abundant state of consciousness. And some of the women there, when they were asked to write down, like, what is it you really desire? What do you want to manifest? Some of them even forgot to put money or material things on their list. It's so kind of subconsciously driven into us that that's a bad thing. So I'd love to hear your perspective about why do people who may be more on a spiritual path have challenges with abundance?
I love that. I love that question. And it's so interesting that you were just saying that that was coming up for your retreat participants. And it's something that I see, it's very common. I see that those who are more on the spiritual path, let's just go into chakras. So when we're working more in the higher realms, we tend to only want to operate in those higher realms or work with the upper chakras. And we also feel that, we know there's more to this life. We know that we have this beautiful connection to spirit. And then we sometimes forget that we are actually here on earth, and earth means that we have to ground, and that we also have to plant our purpose on earth. And when we get into those lower chakras, sometimes there's stuff that we have to deal with that we don't like. And one of those things can be money. And it really, I see a lot of the money work goes into the lower chakras. And so money can be tied to safety. It can be tied to material possessions. It can be tied to some of the tribal areas of who our humanness is, like how we're connected in. And so a lot of times we feel disconnected when we're so in tune with spirit that we neglect all the things on the earth plane. And so then we have this association that, material things are so trivial. And yes, we don't take the material things with us when we cross into spirit, but somehow money gets stuck in there as well. And all money is energy. And it's the energy that we use to reciprocate here on the earth plane. And so we can hear things from our parents. We have familiar patterning. We also have things in society that could have been taught to us, such as we are greedy if we want money. That's not spiritual. Spiritual is connecting into spirit. And so because money is on the earth plane, no, I'm going to disassociate myself from it. And then they also will feel sometimes that they're not worthy of actually having money or abundance. And so it's this disassociation that money is bad, that money is only for people who are not spiritual, and they think that money cannot be spiritual, when in fact money is just energy. It's a tool. It is a tool to help survival, but it's also an energetic frequency. It's something that we all have we have worthiness, we have the ability to receive, and we also can utilize money to give and help others too. I see a lot of people who are very sensitive and empathic want to give their energy, give their help, give their emotions, and that also can translate into give money. And so they're always giving money, but they're forgetting to take care of themselves. They're forgetting to put their oxygen mask on themselves first, right? To take care of themselves with self-care, with stopping to recharge, and also to receive abundance, to actually receive, to replenish the cup that they have energetically. And energetically, that also is where money is as well. Money is just energy. And so they're always focused on other people. And it's a disassociation of the spiritual aspect and what they should be doing. And they really can, if they connect in, realize if they take care of themselves, they are going to be in a much better place of helping other people through their energy and through money as well. Now, I do feel too, Melissa, that there can be some past life connection too, where people just are feeling like they need to be in a poverty sense in order to be spiritual. And that is in the past. So this is a great opportunity to really reprogram the energy, the things going on in the mind, the things going on in the thought patterning and the emotional aspect, and to realign, to understand that spirituality and money are not separate. It's all energy. And this is a great chance, just with our conversation, to have that awareness, to realize that we need to be planted into this body, into this lifetime, and to understand that we can claim all those things, and to realign the chakras, realign our energy and the patterning.
Yeah. What strikes me that's really important here too is the receiving. Because in order to be loyal to myself and then to be of service to other people, it's like, to be able to give, there has to be a receiver. And it reminds me of something that just happened to me this past weekend. I kept getting this image in my mind. So I'm a very visual person. That's how I pick up my intuitive messages primarily. And I kept seeing a picture of my friend and her two boys. And she's actually a single mom, unfortunately, because her husband passed away. And I just kept seeing her in my mind. And I thought, you know what? She just needs a little bit of help this weekend. So I offered to pick up her kids and have her come play with my son. And she just couldn't receive it. Even though she was feeling ill, she just couldn't receive it. And it's like, what can I do? I really want to help you, but she's not receiving my help. So for people just to think about that in your own life, like, how can you receive more? If you have a money problem, it could be that there is a problem with receiving what's available to you.
Oh, yes, 100%. I love that you highlighted that. I actually had an issue with receiving when I first started out in my business. And for me, it equated to not even being able to like ask. And so when we finally realized that, oh, receiving is a natural part of how we recharge and we're in the flow, it changes so much. I love that you said that. It's so very important.
Yeah. So can a person use their intuition to increase their financial abundance? Do you have any little tips about that?
So, how I make decisions with my intuition to increase financial abundance is something I can share. But I wanted to also talk about the way that I really work with intuition is I work with my spirit guides quite a bit. So I always have that conversation with them. Like, they're always connected to me so that they know the plan. And I think that one of the big misconceptions is that people just think their spirit guides or their spirit helpers just know, but we actually have to have that communication and conversation with them. So that's my first tip, is to get really connected with your guides, with your helpers that are around you, so that then they can attract and create those opportunities for you. So that's going to be something that they're doing. And hey, Whitney, here's this amazing opportunity for you. I've got it lined up right here. So I have that connection. Another thing too is when we're working with our intuition, we want to make sure that we're allowing ourselves to get really clear and to just allow to receive, like you just talked about. We have to be in a place where we're open to receive, or we're going to block our intuitive messages as well. Mm-hmm. We've got to make sure that we are open for them. And that means we're open to our intuitive messages, even if we might not necessarily like what is being said. We have to actually listen. And so that brings up the topic of money. Sometimes we hear things, we see things, we feel things, we know things from our helpers that we're like, oh, that feels super uncomfortable. I don't know if I like what you're telling me. But whenever they're presenting a great opportunity to you and you're really connected in, my tip is take action, because they know best. They can see beyond the mountain where you can just be stuck and you want to stay in your comfort zone. And so for me, when I've always made decisions and I've used my intuition, I have just catapulted my growth. I have gone to the next level. It happened when I started my business. That was a big leap, and Spirit's like, no, here you go. You need to quit your job and start this, like finally step more fully into your full-time business. And then as I continued to just move forward, they would give me the insight and I'd say, oh, okay, here we go. And it's always worked out. And every kind of intuitive message that I got regarding financial abundance, it was a little scary to actually take those next steps. And it's scary because you're out of your comfort zone when you're ready to increase. So whenever you're at the base of a mountain, you want to get to the top, right? But it takes a little bit of uncomfortable feeling to get there. You actually have to take the steps. You have to take the action. And that's what I mean by being uncomfortable. We actually have to go into that place, but really knowing that your guides are presenting those opportunities for you to actually say, okay, you ready to grow? Growing pains can happen, but let's do it. I've got you. I've got you covered. And it's an amazing feeling when you trust your intuition to do that. And every time I have really trusted my guides, I have felt like I am stepping out into this journey that I don't even know, but I know the end result, and my spirit guides have always been there. And I love it so very much that they are connected to me and that they've always got my back, which is really awesome. I'm sure you feel the same way, Melissa.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're totally speaking my language. And what I love about this is it's the growth journey, right? It's not staying in your comfort zone. And I don't know, because I did this retreat, it's on my mind a lot. But one of the things we shared in there too was, like, there was one woman in particular who we were using the analogy of, like, she's dipping her toe in and then coming back, dipping her toe in and then retreating back. And it's like, I have to take the step to find out what the next step is. And did we lose her?
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's still there. Your video went off.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Too much energy. Yeah, but you don't have to know. Basically, how I would say that, what you're saying too, is you don't have to know the how. Like, you just got to get those steps and take action on it.
Yeah.
It's not always easy, but that's where the magic starts happening, right?
Yes, for sure. And you have to do your part too, to actually take those steps to clear things out. But when you have that really great relationship with your guides, you don't have to know how it's going to come together. It just is. And it's just the end result, take it and just trust. And it is so awesome to know that you have a support team with you. And it's just amazing the growth that I've had in the last couple of years. And every time I'm faced with a decision to increase, but I know it will increase my financial abundance, it's going to increase my spiritual growth, I take it and I feel like, oh, here we go. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know what's going to happen. I know it's going to be fine, but I'm like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but here I am. Oh, here we go. And then some amazing things occur. And it's like the universe rewards you for taking those beautiful steps forward. But a lot of people, Melissa, just get stuck and they're like, nope, it's uncomfortable. I'm just going to stay here. And you can't make changes and you can't expect different results if you're not willing to actually take the actions and do it, right? So I really have a passion to help people get out of their comfort zone, to actually take these perceived risks, but they're not risks as long as you're really following your intuition.
Yeah, awesome. So true. So what I'm really excited about is that Whitney is hosting a free challenge this week. It starts tomorrow. And it's about this exact topic, right? How to increase your financial abundance with your intuition. So can you tell people watching this a little bit about what they're going to experience and learn in the challenge?
Sure. So we have 3 days of live training so that we can really dive in, and we're going to be discovering more about what's been going on in your energy, your patterning, things that you probably don't know exist that are there. So we're going to be diving into old beliefs, maybe things that have been said with your family as far as money's evil, or I feel guilty having money, or you feel like money is greedy, or it only happens, like financial abundance only happens to people that win the lotto. Just whatever the belief systems are, these are examples. You're going to have your own. So we're going to dive in and we're going to work to remove those. And then 2, we're going to learn about the 3 relationships you really need in your life in order to increase your financial abundance. We are going to be diving into strengthening your intuition. We're going to be talking about 4 ways to perceive the messages that you're getting in your intuitive message work. And then we're also going to be working on creating a plan with your spirit guides, so you guys are on the same page, so that you can have that communication with them like we were just talking about earlier as well. And so we're going to have 3 days of this, and those who participate are going to have daily, I should say, worksheets to go through and write down their homework as they're watching this training. But I like to assign homework because that's where the stuff gets done. So we're going to be doing that too.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to be participating in the challenge along with you guys, because I know, like, I don't know, money and financial abundance in particular is an area that just has so many layers of it that we need to uncover. And I mean, you can be intuitive and connected with your spirit guides all day long, but if you have that resistance and those blocks going on inside, it's like driving with the brakes on. You're not going to be totally aligned and picking up that guidance. So they both go hand in hand, in my opinion. The releasing your own stuff that's not serving you, and then getting more and more tuned in to the intuitive guidance. So so I hope that some of you guys watching, or all of you guys watching, will join this challenge. It's free. I think Whitney is offering some amazing training there to get involved in. So I have a special link if you want to sign up for the challenge. It's messengerofspirit.com/Melissa. That's MELISSA. Do you want to say that one more time, Whitney? Because, I have a funny accent.
Sure. It's Messenger. I love that so much. So it's Messenger of Spirit /Melissa. And I did forget, there's going to be prizes too. So there's going to be free oracle cards that are going to be given away to some lucky winners. And then also there's going to be a 30-minute phone reading with me as well for one person. And I'll get into all those details tomorrow. But I hope to see you all there at the challenge. I'm excited for it. And I'm glad you're participating, Melissa. It'll be great to see you in the group too.
Yeah, and I think this is the time to do it. Like, if you're going to work on your blocks and resistance, do it with the supportive community of people going through the same process. That support, in my opinion, allows me to be vulnerable and let stuff out, because I can kind of see that I'm not the only one going through this stuff, So I think there's so much value in there. So do try to sign up and do it live. If you're watching this a little bit later and it's already started, don't worry about it. The replays are going to be there for you. Just jump on board and, be in the community with us as much as you can in your busy life. So anything else you want to share with us before we finish up, Whitney?
I love that you said that having the support of community I feel is really super important. And, the financial abundance piece and the spiritual growth, we're always evolving. And so it's like we're constantly shifting. So I wanted to just share with everybody watching, if you feel like you're in a great place, that is amazing. We still invite you to join to continue to grow and shift. And it's always great when you look at things from a different perspective. Every time you've shifted your vibration, you've gone into a different area, and you're like, oh, well, what do I have in my energy now that needs to come out? Because it's a constant process of evolving and becoming lighter. And I always call this energy like my energy closet. I forgot that I had this in there. Okay, time to give this into the universe to transmute that into love and light.
Mhm.
So it's good to become lighter for sure.
Yeah, I love that because I mean, those who know my story know that I actually started connecting with my angels when I was 12 years old, but nearly 30 years later now, I certainly don't think that I've mastered everything, right? There's always that next layer of growth. And I know for me, I'm going through a big transition in my life, and I can see that there's a new plateau coming. So all this inner healing work, if you're going through a transition, will help you to get to that next plateau so you can receive more abundance. And it's all abundance, not just financial. That seems to be the area where we can sometimes have some icky blocks going on, but there's a lot more to abundance than just money too. More joy, more friendship, more spirituality, etc. So yay. So I hope you guys will join us again. Messenger of Spirit. Is it messengerofspirit.com/Melissa?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you for doing this today, Whitney. This was so much fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad we got to chat.
Yeah,
Again, I love that we're connected and we stay connected.
absolutely. All right. You have a great day, sweetie.
Bye.
Bye.